Hi folks, welcome along to what I thought would be a short little video on my thoughts with the Simrig, a Simrig Roundup if you like, now that we've had 3 months or so competing in it in the Lotus 49 Championship, which was amazing fun. If you haven't watched the live streams yet, have a look. I'll put a link up in the corner there to go back and look at some of the races that we did there. They were great challenging car, challenging championship, and some excellent racing, and we had some good results as well. So a couple of wins at the end of the season there. But anyway, enough of that. This is about the rig and the kind of looking at how all the videos we put together at the start when we looked at building it, specking out the room, put the rig together, choosing the different components, deciding how everything lined up as far as building extra button box areas and where the shifter was going to go, and all that kind of stuff, seating position, etc. So this is just a wee video now that I've spent quite a lot of time with the rig and quite a lot of time in this seat racing, is to kind of get my thoughts on it. So we'll just fire in. First thing to say is that overall, I'm absolutely delighted with every single bit of this, from the seat to pedals, steering wheel, the racing hardware, but also like the PC side of things, the monitors, the bezel-free kits that they use to make a seamless image across the monitor. There are 3 monitors, sorry. Even my little area over at that side where I can work on things like editing videos or playing normal games, not racing games, etc. Just the whole room seems to work well. A couple of wee updates to the room since you saw the building videos to start with. We've obviously put some stickers up around the place on the white lines just to give it a little bit of a kind of just add a bit to it. Some stickers on the back of the rig as well. You maybe see it on the thumbnail at the start of the video. And there's some stickers behind me, as you can see, for a nice background for the live streams in these videos. On the walls themselves, up the top, we've got the Michael Schumacher caps hanging up, my racing idol. We've got all these Ferrari caps from '96 up to 2004. I don't have 5 or 6, so if anyone's got 2005 or 2006 caps they want to donate, then feel free to complete the collection. What else do we have? We've also got a slight addition to the trophy cabinet, if you like, up there. We've got the 2001 Scottish Championship, 2021, sorry, Scottish Championship trophy, which was missing earlier on. So now we've got the full 5 trophies. There's 2 Scottish Championships, 2 David Leslie wins, and of course the karting NQRA one at the back there, along with my helmet. So that's kind of the room. As far as the rig itself, a couple of tiny little additions. Again, since we put it together, we have a hook for the headset up the back there, and that plugs into the back, the monitors. There's a cable runs from the back of the monitors there that allows me to charge the headset when it's not in use, and it's fine and handy just to grab it from my seat here as well. We've also obviously been using the Dell Ultra Sharp HDR and 1080p recording camera that we have. I think it can record in 4K, but because I'm just streaming with it, it's 1080 is fine for me. But yeah, I kind of chose that camera because there was a couple I was looking at, that one, and also the what was the other one again? I can't remember. But anyway, the form factor of that Dell camera works really well because it just sits. I can get really close to my head here, as you see for the video there, and it just shoots over my shoulder. So yeah, perfect. Really happy with that as well. So that's kind of the changes that were made. So let's look at some specific points I want to pick up on from, again, things I've noticed after spending a lot of time in the rig. So first off is the seating position. I'm really happy with how constrained it feels, and I know that sounds like a strange thing to say, but when you get into it, and I'll pop a little video in here of me getting into the car, the virtual car, it feels like getting into a real race car. You can't just kind of pull the seat out the way, go and sit in, and then pull the seat back in. If you're at a desk or something, obviously it's a desk, so you can roll the seat around. But because things are quite tight around the knee area here, and obviously low down with the steering column, and I've got the feet raised, as you would know if you watch the videos. So we're kind of trying to recreate a single seater position, but because of all this and it's all quite tight, you've actually got to lower yourself into the car, as you would in a real life single seater. So it just gives you that extra little bit of feeling when you're going to go out and do some racing, that you're actually having to install yourself in the car like you would in real life. And again, just for me, it's a nice little extra, something that I didn't even think about before, but it's nice that you have to actually climb into it like you would. So I love that. A couple of little software issues that we not issues, things that we tweaked. First off, on the Heusinkveld Smart Control software. Here I'll ping you across to my main screen. So here we are in the smart controller, and it was the clutch that we focused on, mostly to just get the shape of this curve a little bit friendlier, user friendlier. If you watch the streams, you know that I struggled a little bit with the bite point of the clutch off the start line towards the starting. Well, most of that was down to me. It was yeah, there's ways of improving it. So yeah, we just again, it's difficult to kind of describe what we did, but it was basically just to get a smoother release and a better feel on my left foot, basically coming off the clutch pedal as you release the clutch. I think the bite point in iRacing is around about the kind of 95% mark, so somewhere around about there-ish. And yeah, just the way we kind of tweaked that curve, and collaboration with the dead zones as well, top and bottom. Again, that just allowed this nice, smooth coming off the clutch. So what you see there, the left hand is the actual output. Sorry, the green is the actual output, and the blue is what I'm inputting to the pedal. Yeah, so that's kind of how it worked. So throttle and brake, yeah, we didn't change much with those. There was a anything actually. They were just as they were towards the start. So the other thing that we changed was in SimCube 2 paddock, the True Drive paddock. So you'll remember if you watched the immersion video at the start, they had two Lotus 49 profiles here, one for Monza and one standard one. Effectively halfway through the season, probably around about the Nürburgring time, I switched to the Monza one. I've renamed it now, but yeah, there was just too much impact forces, especially down straights and things, and it was kind of breaking the immersion a little bit for me. Didn't feel quite right. So the two things we changed were the overall strength at the top, which we brought down, the static force reduction, yeah, this year, which again, so the static force reduction effectively reduces what the static forces, which they are like cornering forces, constant loads in the car, whereas your overall strength gives you the feeling for everything, the maximum force you'll hit. So what we achieved was basically by taking the force reduction down to zero, but also reducing the overall strength. I got the same cornering force, if that makes sense, but I didn't get the big hits. Or even bigger hits, sorry. I still get big hits, it's still quite a workout. But you didn't get overly big hits when you hit curbs or dips in the road or camber changes, stuff like that. So it just, again, it's all kind of subjective, this stuff, but for me this kind of brought things into the realm of more realism for me. And yeah, that's what we changed in that. What else did we change? So the other hardware this time, thing that we just tweaked with was in the, you can't see it in here, but I'll put a little video in to show the SimCube, no sorry, give me the Cube Control QRX quick release. So you get two parts. You get the male part, which goes on the wheelbase, and you get the female part. And the male part comes with, on the underside, a little wedge which has some shims underneath it. And you two little screws, and you unscrew them, and that allows you to move the shims up or down, or sorry, the wedge up or down, using the different type of shims that you put in there. So you've got two thicknesses. You've got a 0.1mm and a 0.15mm. So I think as standard, it came with 2.15s and 2.1s installed, and I think that was kind of okay for the GT wheel and the hub that I had on that one. But when I stepped into the Lotus 49, I found that it wasn't, the quick release wasn't engaging completely, and it actually came off once when I was testing due to the force. But what I found that it was that the little plate underneath was too far out, so we pulled that back in step by step until we found that when you put the steering wheel on, the quick release fully engages, and then yeah, I've had absolutely zero issues with play or looseness or anything, or flex or anything since we did that. So that was again, no problems with it. Just be aware if you've got that system that you may, despite I think Cube Controls say that the tolerances are so good that you won't need to change it, but you do need to change it between steering wheels, as I've found. But it's not a big job. It's two scuttle screws, and you've just got to flick one out and one in, and then you take a note of what shims work with which wheel, and yeah, there you go. You just got to change it if you decide to change wheel. So again, what I found to work with the Lotus 49 hub, or the hub I've got on that, sorry, was the 1.15 and 1.1. As it sounds confusing. A single 0.1 millimeters and a single 0.15 millimeter shim worked fine. Again, it's not to do with the wheel, it's not just to do with the female part of the quick release. So you just have to play about. If you guys have got this, you just have to play about with it yourselves till you find a happy medium. And you might find that 2 or 3 work with the same settings. You might get lucky that way. So, final thing I wanted to pick up on that I've learned over the past 3 months is this bad boy. How realistic that is. It is insanely realistic. It is. I mean, it's, as I said when we installed it, it is a gearbox without the gears. So you've got all the little. I don't know if you can quite see it there. If I move my hand out of the way, but I'll put a little other video in and a close up on it. But you've got all the selector, the selector heads and things there, as you would in a real gearbox. And because of that, if you don't have yourself fully in tune with it, you miss gears, as you would exactly in real life. And when I was missing gears with this thing, I was missing gears in exactly the same way as I missed them in the Formula Ford in real life. So it's challenging, but that was, again, the whole point. That's why I put this rig together. It's not an easy, cheaty, you can just click a button to change a gear. If you're driving a car with an H-pattern gearbox, you have to actually be able to drive an H-pattern gearbox. And I'm so pleased with the fact that I was missing gears initially, and not even just at the start, even towards the end I was still missing some gears, as you'll see from the live streams. But again, the way you miss them is realistic, because you can feel that you just haven't quite got the alignment right, and you get used to it, and you obviously stop missing gears. But I just love the way that it was so real that it felt like I was missing gears like I would in real life. So yeah, kudos to ProSim and Quaif for making such an awesome bit of kit there. That's pretty much it. I mean, everything else is as it has been since we started competing in the Lotus 49 series, and I've just loved it. It's really replaced. It has 100% replaced real life racing for me. The emotional roller coaster that we had in the season, notwithstanding, it's just, I've had ups and downs just like you would in real life, and it's just as exciting and just as frustrating, and then just as rewarding when you cross the line first and get a win, which we were lucky to do. But yeah, as far as the rig itself and the kit that we've brought in here, 100% approve everything that we have. So yeah, I mean, if anybody's looking to get any of this stuff, or they're kind of humming here thinking about it, and you want me to comment more, or anything specific that you want to know or find out, just stick something in the comments and we'll get back to you. In the meantime, yeah, that'll do for this one. And I don't know what we're going to do next, actually. I quite fancy getting back into something a bit more modern, having raced the Lotus for a bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved it, but it'd be nice to try something where I don't have to worry about missing gears. I can click paddles to change gears. So keep your eyes peeled. We'll have something up soon, I'm sure, on what we're going to do next. But if you like the video, if it was useful, hit like. It really helps us out. If you want to see more of the kind of stuff that we get up to, then hit subscribe, and I will see you on track in something in the near future. Bye guys.